All right. I interrupt your holiday cheer or post-holiday cheer, depending on when you're watching this, with a little holiday fear. Looking back on 2019, it has truly been one of the most epic and successful years of my life. Truthfully, I've leveled up my brand. I launched a new business that has seen some extreme success, and everyone's happy and healthy, and my marriage is solid and whatnot. But I feel like in a world of Instagram filters, fashion videos, and watching everyone's highlight reel on social media, I was just thinking, first of all, that's perception isn't reality. And second of all, I just kind of wanted to take a look back and think about, the things that kept me up at night, that I feared, that scared me, whether they were rational fears or completely irrational or some things that are just trivial. I want to share my fears with you. This is a little personal, but let's get going. Okay, my first fear was turning 39. You guys, I am in the last year of my 30s. How is that possible? I am officially at that age where I tell people how old I am, and they go, "You look so good for your age." I'm like, yes, that means I'm old. I get it. I appreciate the compliment, but it's kind of a backhanded compliment, right? I mean, you're not going to tell a 20-year-old you look good for your age, not even a 30-year-old, right? It's when you really get up there nearing 40 that kind of compliment happens. I do appreciate it. But aging aside, you guys, I'm appreciative for what I've done so far, and, I have a very content life, and I'm happy. But the thing that scares me the most about turning 39 and, I'm almost 40, is the fact that my fertility has caught up with my age. It's a very weird place to be as a woman. I mean, men can get, if they're not sterile, can get women pregnant, I swear, 70 or 80, right? But women, our window truly closes. And to have that catch up to your age is a harsh reality, especially when you still don't know you want kids. This is literally the $1 million question. I'm still on the fence, but I don't know what the hell is up with me. Especially when you don't know about the kid thing, it is a very sad, harsh reality that your window of fertility is closing, and people will be like, "Oh, you have time." It's okay, I'm at the end of the road. I appreciate the optimism and I have time, but I don't have a lot of time, people. I'm just saying, I gotta, push one out in the next year or two. So that is definitely something that has scared me, kept me up a little at night, because I hate that I'm still indifferent on the fact. Ugh. And then wrinkles, those scare the shit out of me, but I do what I can about that. Okay, this next topic is heavy one. It's very heavy. And I was even contemplating talking about this because it's just so heavy, and I don't know. It's just the reality of living in the US. Shootings. Now, let me preface this by saying, before I get into how the reality of what's going on with mass shootings has changed how I live my life and how I think when I go places. My sister and her husband are survivors of the Las Vegas shooting. They were at the concert. In the middle of it, they survived. Scariest day of my life. Well, they're neck and neck when my husband almost died in an accident last year. And then last year, was that the Las Vegas shooting? So just horrific. And it's unbelievable that, and I don't want to get into all the gun laws because I have a definite opinion on that, but I just want to make this really personal about, my fears. It's unbelievable, the reality of the world that we live in right now, to have, I think, what are we, close to 300 or maybe over? I should have checked the stats. I'm sorry. Shootings this year, which is incomprehensible. And it's almost as if you can't dwell too much on it because the reality is really too hard to understand the real severity of what's happening in the world. It has completely changed how I feel about going into crowded places, public places. I was just in the supermarket a few days ago, and I overheard this girl saying, there's a man over there, he's freaking me out, and I instantly just think shooter, and I want to get out of there. I went to a concert a few months ago, and the days leading up, I was just telling my husband, I'm just a little nervous about this. Like, is there going to be a lot of security? I hope that they have. I was just thinking of everything. And truthfully, when I walked into the concert, I was looking at everything. I was looking at, the exits and Ohana Festival. I couldn't believe how many dogs and police force and sheriff and just, I think there was even Marines, there was military there. But it's a real fear. And I think it's also, I have a real awareness about the reality. And I know that you can't control what happens. And when it's your time, it's your time. I think you have to be aware of the possibility. You need to be aware of your surroundings all the time. You need to constantly be looking around. You have to think twice before, you go places. You should always, always, always have your phone on you and charged no matter what. So the reality of just these random, barbaric, pure evil shootings that have happened in the hundreds just this year, coupled with what I lived through with my sister and her husband, and just the reality of the horror that they lived through, it's just petrifying. So I still go, I'm still enjoying life, but it's definitely something I fear and something that I think about, especially when it comes to having kids. Oh God, that's another thing. I probably am not having children because I'm just living in fear. And I know that you shouldn't do that, but I think maybe that's a part of it. Definitely all of these shootings don't help with wanting to bring a kid into the world. Just leave it at that. All right, the next fear. Okay, this next fear is a trivial fear. I had the privilege of being invited to go on a hot air balloon ride 2 months ago. And you guys don't think this is stupid. This is serious. Like, heights are a serious fear and phobia for people. My friends out there, you feel me? Like, okay? So it was a free hot air balloon ride, which is expensive. And it was a bunch of female entrepreneurs going on this hot air balloon ride, and you were going to bond and get together. And it was just this experience. And right away I was bonding with female entrepreneurs. Yes, yes, yes. But then I was hot air balloon? Hell no. Hell no. And then of course you talk to people and they're like, did you hear about that hot air balloon crash when people ran into the side of the mountain or catapulted to the ground? And I'm like, oh my God. But then there was these other people who were like, you have to go. It's once in a lifetime. If you plummet to the ground, you'll never feel it. You'll just splat. No, I'm just kidding. It's terrible. But so I had these two conflicting feelings. And I thought, you know what? It's so true. My husband says this. When it's your time, it's your time. And you can't live. I mean, you have to be safe, obviously, which is hot air balloon safe. I don't know. You have to live, okay? And obviously, if people were crashing left and right on hot air balloons, there wouldn't be hot air balloon rides, right? Okay, so there you go. I digress. I just said F it, and I went, and I have to tell you guys, I'm scared of heights. I don't know what it is about being on a hot air balloon, but it was the most, hands down, number one, the most peaceful, serene, smooth, calm experience of my life. It was truly therapeutic. It's such an unbelievable perspective to be floating in a basket in the air over the world. And you typically do it in the morning when all the world's asleep and it's kind of quiet out. It doesn't even feel real. And I think that is why I didn't get scared. It's not like when you look over a skyscraper and you're like, oh my God. I think the whole combination of coasting and it's really slow and calm and smooth, paired with this larger than life view of being above, it just doesn't seem real. So you're feel like you're in a dream. And I think that is why I got over my fear of heights. Honestly, not once was I even nervous. It was so strange. I can't even Explain it. From one person who is scared of heights to another, you out there, if you get an opportunity to go hot air balloon riding, please, is that a thing? Yes, that's what it is. Please do it. Do not miss out. It is just such a bucket list, wonderful experience. You gotta do it. I'm telling you, I promise. And then you gotta tell me how it was. You gotta message me here on Instagram. Lighter? No, I don't know if this is lighter. Hey, this is about things that scare me, so let it rip, right? The other thing that scares me is my product not selling. So for those of you guys who know Top Tote, the hat holder I invented, we launched it this year. And truthfully, I'm 100% self-funded. I had a nest egg of money I could have bought a house with. I could have driven a nicer car, bought a Balenciaga jacket, I don't know, bought a boat, bought a whatever. I decided I wanted to dump it into my dream, and man, is that gambling, because you don't know, like, what's the percentage of businesses, small businesses that fail within the first 5 years? I think it's like in the 90s. Don't quote me, but it's high. I'm a purpose-driven person, and I have a very strong intuition, and my intuition has guided me through all the success I've had as a fashion stylist, as a content creator, and now as an inventor, and I just had to go with it. So I literally pretty much just put every single penny of my life savings, my husband and I's life savings, into building my business. So you can imagine what kind of fear you have when you're like, this shit's gotta work, okay? We just put everything into this. We are going for broke. This has got to work. So yeah, I have to say, it's a constant. It's an absolute constant fear and worry. Now, I am enjoying the ride, don't get me wrong, but launching a business is no joke. And you guys, this has to work. I'm creating my empire. I want to launch more products. I want to create a name for myself and make products that make your life easier. That I know is my forever plan, like my future, what I want to do long term, and YouTube, of course. So yeah, every day, that's a big concern, of mine. Are we selling through at Nordstrom? Are we selling on my site? I need to get more retailers. I need to get more customers. We need to make new products. And a lot of it is stemmed on just the massive financial investment and the fact that I don't have a plan B. Like, this is what I want to do. And that, my friends, is scary. It's so scary. It's like, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing to myself? Why did I put myself in this position of such risk? But you know what? Passion wins over being scared for me. So I guess I just love living on the edge, and I am a natural entrepreneur. So yeah, hopefully, and I'm pretty certain that fear will keep me working hard, right? Because I invested so much money into this, and I don't have a plan B or another dream of a profession that I want. So the fear is probably going to be the fuel to the success. Let's hope, but it's still so scary. Let's also talk about another fear that has kept many people up at night, or at least influencers: social media. For those of you guys who know, talking about the algorithm, no one's growing on social media. I get less likes than I used to, all those things. I am feeling that. And when you need social media to do well, because that is also how you make your money, through brand partnerships and also YouTube views. Thank you for those of you watching this. It's scary when your social channels are not growing. And that's a scary thing. For me, in complete honesty, gosh, I don't even know if I've ever said this. I started my product business because how I make money on YouTube for the most part is brand deals. And as I garnered success on YouTube and Instagram and whatnot, I realized that I was just a living, breathing commercial. Like, that is how I made my money. I have to talk about products. I have to talk about fashion and shoes and sales and apps and gosh knows what else I've talked about. Panty liners. I've talked about so many things on this channel for branded partnerships so I can get paid. And I just realized, like, I can't do that for the next 30 years. You know, I need to have YouTube as my social outlet and obviously make some money from the ads that run on, yeah, but I need something more that's, you know, providing a service beyond me being in front of you, telling you how cute things are and, you know, you should use this eye cream and whatnot. I'm grateful for that and I want that, but I just needed something more. So I digress. When your livelihood is tied to your social platforms doing well with high engagement, more followers, likes, all those things, premium content, it's effing scary because sometimes you can put, well, most influencers put so much time and effort into it, me included, and then to see it not do as well as you're hoping, that's effing tough. And it's a scary reality because you need to pay the bills. I have to say, though, it's still this year, I have absolutely gotten better. I've taken the pressure off because, you know, I have my company that I'm running. I only post here and there. And I'm like, you know what? All I can do is the best I can. I can't worry about something that I can't control. So I've absolutely felt better and I'm in a healthier space and mindset with the whole social media following and growing and whatnot. But yeah, it's still something that is worrisome and scary. Yeah, anything that involves your livelihood and money instills some fear in you and will keep you up at night, right? Oh, so I don't know, you guys. What makes you scared? What keeps you up at night? I'm so curious. Are some of your fears the same as mine? I would love to know. Please leave me your comments. And sorry to bring like a depressing topic to my channel, but like I said, you know, I just want to give you guys, I want to start like a dialogue and I want to give you guys a little bit more insight into who I am outside of the fashion videos and the beautifully curated Instagram photos. So happy holidays, everyone, and leave me your comments. All right. Mwah.